Hello everyone, Dave here from Living Waters Kayaking, and today I have a KISS DIY trolling motor installation on a kayak. I have an Old Town 120 PDL pedal drive kayak. I think it's the best platform for kayak fishing. The pedal drive gives me the agility to get into tight spaces on the water. It also gives me a great platform to fight a fish. So if I hook into something, I can quickly pedal back with a quick turn of the knob. I can change directions and land the fish. So in my opinion, it's a great platform. There's a lot of arguments about the pedal kayak going away. Is it done? I don't believe so. It's just the benefit of having a pedal drive and what it allows for a kayak angler to do is outstanding. With that said, I would like to get from point A to point B a whole lot quicker without having to pedal all the way there. So exert as minimal energy as possible. So there's the option of some type of motor to be installed. Now, I was just at ICAST a few weeks ago, and there are many options, but they tend to be quite expensive. These are good motors, very efficient, but they are pricey, and I'm not ready just to get to that level just yet anyway. So I look into other options. I go down way down to the basics. I'm going to install a Minn Kota trolling motor, a simple $150. I think this is a 40 pound truss Minn Kota trolling motor. Easy, right? So there is, of course, there's no comparison to a $150 trolling motor, Minn Kota trolling motor, to this thing here, which is $1,500. Obviously, all the pros, there's a long list of pros with this guy here as opposed to the simple Minn Kota. But does this Minn Kota get me from point A to point B? Yes, it does. So I'm going to start out with that. Again, I will be exploring other options down the road. So let's get started. Now, I mentioned this earlier. I have the Old Town 120 PDL, great stable platform. That is my number one factor for kayaks. I take folks out fishing. I have a kayak fishing charter business, Living Waters Kayaking, and I need something that is extraordinarily stable. The Topwater series, the 120 PDL, these guys are super stable. So I'm glad Old Town came out with this. Old Town was a big kudos to them. Last year, they were very innovative in this marketplace as they came out with the PDL, which is a motorized pedal drive. So you can pedal assist just like an electric bike, or you can go full motor, and it goes by itself. Very innovative for the market. There's no one else out there that delivers a kayak ready to go, because that EDPL came with the motor and the battery. So thumbs up to Old Town. Unfortunately, the con I have is that was put on kind of the big water platform. It is not that stable, so it's a negative in my opinion, and something I'd be a little leery using with clients. But hopefully Old Town will sort things out in their next release. But once again, they are innovative in those terms, because if you look at what's in the marketplace today, there just isn't anything that comes ready to go. So whatever you buy today, these newer kayaks, you're going to have to outsource a motor. Could be, again, a little pricey. Not only the motor, the battery, the wiring, and you or someone else has to install it. So pros and cons, and that's another discussion for another day. Just putting my 2 cents in now. So let's start. Let's begin by, I'm going to walk you through the process. This is not a detailed tutorial for installing a kayak motor. This is more a discussion, step by step, discussion about the process I went through. And again, I kept it very, very simple, the KISS method, and very, very affordable. I didn't go cheap on the components, but I kept it at a low cost. So if you're ready, let's go. Okay, so let's begin. First thing is you're gonna need access to the back of the kayak to run wires and install the trolling motor. So the Old Town kayaks do not come with access points. This is a solid piece of plastic, so you're going to need to cut a hole out in order to access the rear of the kayak. So what I did is I got a deck plate, and I'll show you what I did. So this gives me a seal, water seal hole or access point to the back of the kayak. What I started out with a template, took a piece of cardboard, cut I believe this is 4 or 5 inch, cut a circle, taped it to here, and drilled a hole right in the middle, like this. I then used a jigsaw to go out and then cut the diameter of this hole. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy, even I can do it. And then I installed this flange plate, if you will. Now these are self-tapping hooks, but what I did is I drilled a small hole to get it started, and off they went. So there's no need to secure this with a nut. This is pretty solid. It's not really moving around. There's no real stress on this, so this works just fine. And again, it gives me this access point that is nice and watertight. Good. Okay. So that's pretty much step one. Step two is to install the Transom trolling motor mount. That's this piece here. So this kayak comes with the threaded inserts for a power pole, and there are four of those. I believe the pattern is standard pattern is like 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So anyways, most of these trolling motor mounts now come to fit that pattern. But before you can put this in, you need to reinforce the kayak. This plastic will not support the weight of a trolling motor. It will give or crack, so you need some sort of backing plate. What I did is this here. This is a cutting board, and I got that from the dollar store. So you can go to Home Depot and buy one of these high density plastic PVC boards and pay $40 to $50 for one, because they are quite expensive. Or you can go to the dollar store and buy yourself some cutting boards for about 10 bucks. You can buy it and walk out the door with 3. So anyways, I cut this out here, and I cut strips out to put underneath. So I'm supporting the mount with a plate on top and the strips underneath. This is stainless steel screws with washers and nuts, lock nuts underneath. It's pretty straightforward. Now the first step is to knock out those threaded inserts. So I took a drill with a metal bit and drilled those out. Yeah, you have to drill some holes in here, and then drilled a hole to fit the screws, the bolts. I think these bolts were 2.5 inches. So you got the bolt, the stainless steel washer, and the nut underneath. Cut the hole cut the matching holes in the board. Again, the plates on the bottom underneath here, and screwed everything together. Now let me talk about this transom mount. When I did my research, I checked this out. I ordered one, I sent it back, I was not happy with it. Then I ordered this one, this Fearmeyer is the brand. Got it from Amazon. All of this is linked below in the product, in the description. This thing, great weld, solid piece of metal, aluminum, marine grade, about 1/4 inch, I'd say. It comes with the 2 plates. These are the 2 attachment plates where the trolling motor mount's going to grip. I thought really well designed, really fabulous construction. So this is what I went for. Again, this is solid. I mean, I can pick up the whole kayak with this. So once I had this situated, I'm ready now to work with the Minn Kota trolling motor. Okay, so our next step is to attach the trolley motor mount to the transom mount here. Now, before I did that, I removed this insert. This is the part of the trolley motor mount that holds the trolley motor up. When you raise it, so it locks it in place, then you pull it and it drops it. I have no way of reaching this from my kayak seat. There are some videos out there showing how you can DIY this back to your seat, and you can run some cable. I didn't want to deal with it. Again, kiss method. So I threw that out, and I start working with the basic motor mount. The reason for that is I only want the motor to propel me forward. That's going to be forward force on this. So I'm going that way, the trolley motor kicks forward, and I'm off to the races. If I need to go in reverse, I'm going to use my pedal drive. I can use reverse here slightly, but if I kind of gun it, the motor is going to pop up. But again, that's not what I want that's not what I want this to do. I just wanted for it to propel me forward. So I'm good with having just the motor just standard here without that other component. I'll show you what I did to lock the trolley motor in place in a few steps. So I've got my motor mount ready to go here. In order to secure the motor, I'll bring it over in a second. In order to secure the motor to the motor mount, I needed to, since I removed the pins that go in here, I forgot to mention that in order to remove that mechanism that holds the trolley motor up and down, I needed to remove 2 pins, the larger pin, and one of the pins is the pin that holds the motor here to this piece. So I've got to replace that. I then purchased a trailer coupler pin. Now this is an extra large one, and with the motor in here, put that baby in. I then secure it. It comes with a cotter pin here. And I then took the little plastic piece of chain, attached it there, just so it doesn't fall out. I tend to lose things, and it's kind of secured in place. Okay? There you go. I'll lock this in place, as you would. I'm going to lock it in place the right way. On there straight, and I'm going to get the trolley motor. To get the trolley motor, you can't see my head, drop the trolley motor in the slot there. I get my pin, line it up, it is in place, like that little cotter pin there, ready to go. There it is. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So one of the things I had to figure out is how to control the throttle on this. I can't reach back here, even though this has the throttle extends out. I can't reach it. There are some other DIY videos for rigging this up. You can even wire it to the seat, getting a little throttle box. I didn't want anything to do with that. Remember, this is the KISS method. So I went out and purchased a throttle these throttle extenders, kayak extenders, handles. Pretty neat. This has the universal joint here, and it works phenomenal. So you put that on, lock it in place, and from the side of my seat, I'll show you in a second, I just bungeed the extension handle right to the side of my seat, and all I do is with my left hand I can go forward and back. Really simple. Now to lower and raise the trolley motor, I had to buy one of these pulleys and attach it to one of these tracks. See the wire? I've got a little handle up front. I'll show you in a second. I pull it, and there goes you can raise the trolley motor out of the water. It's not great, not perfect. I need to work on this, but for now, it works. There you go. As I mentioned a little while ago, I took the extension, the throttle extension bar, took a piece of bungee, wrapped it around the seat here, and that keeps it right along my left side. It doesn't fall out, doesn't fall in the water. All I do is reach over and go left or right to go forward and reverse, but again, I don't use the reverse all that often. And here's how I secure the motor when I raise it. So from here I can pull it. Once I pull it, I can then wrap it around the cleat and secure it. Probably get away with a broomstick handle or something less, but this was lying around. As I said, a little frugal here, so I use what I've got. And there you go. Okay, to power this thing, I had to run the power or battery power from the front of the kayak to the back. That's why I decided to do it. I'm going to show you that in a second when we get to the front part of the kayak. But what I did is I installed these type of plugs, and again, this is listed below on the product links. These work phenomenal. It kind of twist on and locks in place, watertight, easy to use. Just twist it and off it comes. Now, I highly recommend this product. I'll tell you why. I have a 120 autopilot and a 106 Minn Kota Old Town. They come with this type of plug, but I'll show you what happens. See that? Can you see? These suckers melt. So I had each of them. I had a bunch of problem with this, so I got rid of these plugs. So I don't recommend you use these type of plugs, and shame on Old Town Kayaks for installing them on their products. These are a piece of junk. And there's a lot on the internet about these plugs, all negative. So throw those away and use these guys. Again, they're linked below. Okay, now we worked our way up front. I decided to put the battery up front in the front deck. I could put it in the back, but it's out of the way here. It does cause my front to kind of ride low, but I'm good and it works for me. So what as far as plugs, I got this 8-gauge wire, ran it to the back. If you got a buddy that can help you do this, it helps with having more than 2 hands. But it's not all that bad. Again, overall, the install was pretty easy. The plugs I use are these type of plugs for the power back here. These are waterproof, secure. They don't heat up and melt like the other ones do. These do require that. Here's one I haven't used yet. Here. These do require that you put the wire in here, the power wire in here, the negative or the positive, and use a piece of solder in here. So it's a little more challenging than the plugs I used in the back. I would probably switch this over to those other plugs. In other words, the plugs I used in the back, but these are fine. They quick plug, quick release. Work great and do not heat. Really high-end plugs and really secure. There you have it, my KISS approach to installing a trolling motor on my kayak. Again, I try to keep it simple and inexpensive. There are a lot of options, as I said earlier, and it's up to you which way you go. This works for me. I've already been on the water. It works great, but I will be exploring other options as I grow into this motorized pedal kayak approach. I spent as little money as I had to. I did not go cheap on the plugs nor on the mount. I got some good equipment for that, and my advice to you is do the same. Don't buy the typical Walmart trolling motor plugs for power plugs for the front or the back. As you can see, as I showed you earlier, these things will melt after running a long period of time. So don't skimp on that. So there you go. I hope it helped. You guys, appreciate you hanging with me. I hope this gives you some ideas, gets you on the water quicker. Get out there and enjoy the beautiful living waters our good Lord has given us. Get out there, fish, be safe. I'll see you on the next one.